Yes, fight fans, body and mind, sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. So the IBF, they have revealed, a couple days ago or so, that come April the 22nd, they will be ordering IBF champion Daniel Dubois, my guys, my people, to, fight his mandatory challenger, Derek Chisora, next, my guys, my people. Now, we do know that Daniel Dubois is actually in talks with Alexander Usyk to make a unification bout, an undisputed bout, my guys, my people. Now, the IBF, they say that if that fight, Dubois, Usyk should go ahead next. If it can happen, then they would step aside and allow that fight to take place, and Dubois can meet Chisora after. My people, when I'm reading that on this article, look, all that's going through my head is that Chisora here could actually fight for undisputed. I mean, that kind of hinges firmly on, I would say hinges a lot on Dubois actually managing to beat Usyk, which I don't think is totally out of this world. Dubois is a much improved fighter since the last time he fought and lost to Usyk, my guys, my people. But he's much improved now. And he can do it, even though I wouldn't put my chips on him. I'll put all my chips on Usyk, but it's not out of this world, Dubois, if he's able to pull it off. And if he does, it looks like we could be having Dubois, Chisora, in an undisputed bout for Chisora's 50th and last fight before he waves goodbye to the game. So, that is a bit unsettling. It is a bit unsettling. But Chisora is in a great situation right now. But how did he even get there? And that's what is unsettling about this. And does he even deserve to be in such an envious position? Let's think about it. How did he even get there? Well, he beat Joe Joyce, and then he beat Otto Wallin, my guys, my people. So since beating Otto Wallin, and actually first beating Joe Joyce and then Otto Wallin, there's been movement in the IBF rankings due to Martin Bakole, who was actually lined to be in an IBF final eliminator, my guys, my people, and to decide who can fight directly for the IBF title, my guys, my people. However, Bakole, he fluffed that opportunity simply by going into his late replacement fight against Joe Parker. Joe Parker, who was scheduled to fight Daniel Dubois, but Dubois, he pulled out due to illness. So Bakole stepped in and got himself knocked out and knocked way down the rankings, my guys, my people, to, I believe, now number 10. Wow. So he got knocked out the rankings to number 10 and lost his eliminator opportunity. While Derek Chisora, since he had beaten Joe Joyce and Otto Wallin, well, he gets to move up. He gets to move up from number 9, my guys, my people, all the way to number 2. So essentially, he has taken Martin Bakole's eliminator position. He's taken Martin Bakole's eliminator position. And he should be fighting in an eliminator next to decide who will be the number 1 contender to the IBF. Since when you go by IBF rules, the rules state that only the number 1 contender can challenge directly for a title, my guys, my people. And anybody else ranked below that, well, they need to be involved in an eliminator to decide who that number 1 contender will be, my guys, my people. But in this case, in this case. The IBF has just gone around that rule. They have gone around that rule, my guys, my people. Chisora is not going to be involved in a final eliminator. Instead, what the IBF has done is that they have taken his fight with Otto Wallin and designated it a final eliminator, my people. They have designated that fight a final eliminator just to give to qualify Chisora the direct title shot. So you see the dirty business there. Total dirty business. Why have they done that? Well, they say because they are ordering Dubois Chisora, right, the direct title shot. They're ordering it on April the 22nd, my guys, my people. However, Chisora, for that reason, is not going to be there's not going to be enough time for him to be involved in an eliminator because Dubois' mandatory is due June the 21st, my guys, my people, would you believe? Which is true, you know. For him to go forward and fight Dubois maybe June or even July, there's no time for him to have a fight in the interim to decide, in an eliminator who will fight for the title. No time for Chisora to do that. I totally 100% agree. But instead of designating his fight with Otto Wallin, an eliminator fight, why didn't they just move the mandatory due date for Daniel Dubois from June the 21st? Why didn't they do that? It's simple. It's simple because Derek Chisora, he could easily lose in that eliminator. He could easily lose. If he was to fight in an eliminator, who would it have been against? Let's take a look. My guys, my people, he would have been in an eliminator fight against Efe Ajagba, who is now ranked number 3. Right behind Derek Chisora, my guys, my people. So after Derek Chisora, Ajagba would have been the next one up. And Chisora is definitely Dubois' mandatory. Definitely 100% because there's nobody else above him. The number 1 spot is vacant. And basically, his eliminator with Ajagba would have stood to decide who that number 1 spot would be and to have qualified for the direct title shot. My guys, my people. So you can see there that now essentially Chisora has taken Martin Bakoli's position for that eliminator shot after Bakoli fluffed it. My guys, my people. So yeah, simple answer is that Chisora definitely doesn't deserve to be in this position. If you go by the IBF rules, definitely 100% does not need, does not deserve to be in this position. But obviously the IBF has done it for obvious reasons. They don't want to miss out on a big British mashup fight. You have Dubois and you have Derek Chisora, my guys, my people, who is a big name in British boxing. So for the IBF, the way they're looking at things is that, they can be involved in this title fight between 2 big British fighters, and it's the biggest fight that can be made under the IBF in the heavyweight division. So they don't want to miss out on their sanctioning fees on that. They'll take 3% from the champion in his defense. They'll take 3% from Chisora. So in total, 6%. And the biggest purses under the IBF right now. That's who those two names represent, my guys, my people, in an all British mashup title fight. The IBF ain't going to let go of that. No way, no way. So I can see why they're not going to risk that for an eliminator fight with a Jaguar. You know, no offense to a Jaguar, but it just doesn't represent that type of opportunity for the IBF. So, yeah, they're not going to risk Chisora in an eliminator with a Jaguar, where Chisora could most definitely, it could lose. He could lose, my guys, my people. Chisora loses, the IBF loses. They lose, my guys, my people. But this is also good for Daniel Dubois. It's also good for Daniel Dubois. Should he, because I do think though that he will go for the Usyk fight first, not for Chisora. I believe he does want to become undisputed, and that is the biggest fight that he can make. You know, so he's gonna go for that one, and then after that, definitely, I think if he beats Usyk, it's gonna be Chisora and Dubois for undisputed. maybe, my guys. I'm looking at, I think that is more possible, because I just don't believe he's gonna take the Chisora fight first. You know, so there is a possibility there that we might see Dubois versus Chisora in Chisora's 50th and final fight before he retires, my guys, my people. And another reason I think Dubois would take that fight, it kind of offers like a cushion fight after a hard fight. Like, let's say if he manages to climb the mountain that is Usyk, my guys, my people, yeah, if he defeats the odds there, yeah, then I think you want to hold on to his title. We'll take an easier fight. That is a big fight. Dubois and Chisora is definitely a stadium fight. It's the biggest fight the IBF can make. It's the biggest fight the IBF can make. They're not gonna want to lose out, and it's good for Chisora. Chisora definitely is good for him, but for Dubois also offers that little cushion before he goes into a possible harder fight. Maybe Anthony Joshua after that. Who knows? Who knows, my guys, my people. So yeah, you can see why it plays out well in the end for Dubois, Chisora, you know, and even for Frank Warren. Even for Frank Warren, my guys, my people, who now promotes Chisora and promotes Daniel Dubois. You got two Queensbury fighters there fighting. Everything goes to Queensbury. Also Frank Warren, who in the beginning, should I say, about 4 years ago. When did Fury fight Chisora? Well, before the Fury Chisora trilogy, Frank Warren had totally written off Chisora, totally written him off. Didn't think he had it left in him, you know. Thought he should retire. Eddie Hearn thought the same thing as well. But strange thing about Chisora is that he kept winning. He kept winning, and the best wins of his career have, you know, been towards the end. Joe Joyce, Otto Wallin, and then before the Fury fight, he even beat Kubrat Pulev. So yeah, he's been where he's been like an underdog, massive underdog. He's been winning. He's been winning, my guys, my people. And so, yeah, where Frank Warren had written him off before, now he's heaping him with praises after he went on to beat the likes of Otto Wallin, my guys, my people. And still, he says, though, that Chisora's 50th fight should be his 50th and final fight, because these are dangerous moments for Derek Chisora, because it's getting more and more dangerous, and he's just one shot away from that one shot that could just spoil the whole show for him. You know, yet Warren is still willing to put Chisora in there with Daniel Dubois, my guys, my people, despite his health concerns about Chisora and his age. 41 years old. Dubois, 27 years old. This is a full prime bull in the best form of his career right now. He's literally surging, even as a champion. And then you got Chisora, 41 years old, way out of his prime. His retirement days have been calling for a few years' time. For a few years from now ago. So yeah, Frank Warren believes there's dangerous moments for, Chisora. So why put him in with Dubois? We saw what he did to Anthony Joshua. And we saw what he did to Filip Hrgovic. So he can get dirty just as much as Chisora. He can get dirty. Daniel Dubois, he split Hrgovic's eyelids in that fight, made him quit. Made him quit, my guys, my people. So this is a dangerous proposition here for Derek Chisora, my guys, my people. So since Frank Warren has such strong concerns about Derek Chisora, why not send him off in his 50th fight on a high? A good fight for him, I believe, would be Dillian Whyte. They have the history of the two fights they've already had, where in the first, a lot of people thought that Chisora actually won. And then in the second, obviously, Dillian Whyte, he didn't leave it up to the judges. He stopped Chisora, But the selling point could be that this could be Chisora's, chance of a get back, right? And plus the history behind it as well. So there's an obvious selling point there. And both of them, the two previous fights, wow, thrilling fights, my guys, my people. So two thrillers there. Could it be a stadium fight? I don't know. But at the same time, a good selling point, it is Chisora's 50th fight. Chisora is a fan favorite right here on UK soil, so that fight in London will be good. So a 50th fight, send-off fight for such someone that holds such a position, amongst the fans. 50th fight could be a stadium fight with Dillian Whyte. I got that slight feeling, but the O2 definitely though. Maybe not a stadium fight, but the O2 definitely. And a good payday for Derek Chisora to send him off on a high, and a fight that he could possibly win, a even bigger high. Right? Why not make that fight? Well, obviously, because it's still not as big as a Dubois and Chisora fight. That's a stadium fight. It's the biggest fight that IBF can make, the biggest fight Frank Warren can make. It's the biggest money that Chisora can make before he retires, despite the dangers that seem to be lurking. Only Chisora knows exactly just how, how much left he's got in him. And for the moment, it just looks like everybody, Frank Warren, the IBF, even Derek Chisora, my guys, my people, just before he retires, just willing to just squeeze out every penny that they can get out of Chisora before he retires, my guys, my people. And that looks like the scheme. It's business, boxing, you know, it's a tough business, my guys. Very, very tough business. But Chisora is in on it. So let's just hope that if this fight happens, and there's a big chance, as I've explained, that it could happen. You know, if the fight happens, let's just hope that Chisora's health is intact at the end of it. Both fighters at the end of it, really. But Chisora, especially, the dangers, you know, are pointing towards him. But yeah. Daniel Dubois, though, he has been on a hiatus since his step out from the Joe Parker fight, and he's been back and he said a few things regarding the Joe Parker fight. He says that yeah, he now feels that he has unfinished business with Joe Parker and is willing to fight Parker next or whenever. Yeah, although it's not like a clear call out as such. It's a call out, but at the same time it's a bit ambiguous, because he goes on to say, I'll fight Parker, Usyk, or whoever else next, you know. So yeah, it's not like he wants to face Parker immediately. I don't think that's the fight he will take immediately. But even though he says if he has even though he says that he will fight Parker next, he has unfinished business with Parker. But no, he's not going to take that fight next. Possibly he might take the Usyk fight. That's the line I think he will take. He will take the Usyk fight. Then if he beats Usyk, you might take the Chisora fight. That's the next biggest fight that can be made in Queensbury Promotions. And possibly after, maybe, what is Joseph Parker doing next? I don't know. Maybe Dubois might even skip Chisora, you know, and go for Anthony Joshua. Let's see how it all lines up, you know. But that's all I have for you people on this one. And before you leave, my guys, my people, do like, do share, subscribe, of course. Drop your comments below. And as always, my guys, my people, stay super, super blessed.